Corso and Catone.
Listen, Mark, hold on. When I say, would you have caffeine today?
What the hell is that up to?
Presented by Special Sauce Podcast, Studio 42 Design, and Corso Law Group. Now for the real deal New England feel, Corso and Catone.
Welcome into Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. Chris Corso alongside Mark Catone, Joe Goneri, and you watching us on YouTube, listening on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, or wherever you podcast. And check us out on Twitter. Of course, our heated hotline, 855-313-PATS. Give us a call, 24/7. Anything is on the table. Just have a take, and Mark and I will discuss it. So 855-313-7287. Got a great one today. In Weekly Rewind, we're going to talk that Celtics Heat series. Bruins wrap up. And, of course, Catone's comments. You never want to miss that, so stick around for that. In Real Deal, Mark and I go jet setting with the Pats as the NFL schedule is released. So, gentlemen, I can already hear it. I can already hear it in the snickering when we're going to get to that schedule.
Please.
What you feel like, you know. But
do we got to talk? Do we have to talk about the Bruins?
Yeah. Well, listen, today I decided I'm going to be positive today.
Oh, how nice.
Joe, how long's that going to last? When does the Patriots schedule segment come out?
Right. Well, I figured I'll try it. If I don't like it, I don't have to do it again.
Yeah, that's right. Listen, I'm still holding on to my New Year's resolution.
You blew that the day after.
No.
You sure? You know, like I said last week, you're always finding all the tape where I'm wrong. Go find that one the day after.
Listen,
the day after New Year's.
I'm still holding on.
Hey, you know, we got out to the schedule. We're going to talk about Patriots playing on all kinds of holidays this year. You know, so we'll just be dumb with all the food that we eat. We don't have to worry about it. So, but listen, we got a good one. So let's get right into it. You guys ready to go? Weekly Rewind?
Yeah,
let's go.
Right, let's do it. Going back through the week. About a weekly rewind. So the series is tied up at 1-1, and about an hour from now, tip-off happens in Game 3 in Boston. So, listen, Game 1, Mark, I want to talk about Game 1 first, because what a contrast between Game 1 and Game 2, and I wanted to get your thoughts because some of the stuff you're hearing around, you know, there's no excuse good enough as to why Game 1 happened and that loss took place. What did you see in Game 1 as opposed to 2?
Well, Game 1, obviously in Game 2 they shot better, but in Game 1 they went away from what was working. Okay, in the first half they were getting to the basket. Brown was getting to the basket. They were working the ball around, but getting to the basket. And then in the second half, they kept going back to the threes. They weren't hitting them, and they were allowing Miami to get in transition, get some easy baskets, and then they were allowing without Marcus Smart. I mean, Butler was doing some isolation and stuff, but really it was almost like you say the tale of two halves. It was like, because offensively they did two different things. Like they went away from what gave them the lead and started to play that, you know how they chuck those threes up. And if they're hitting, great. Listen, they can beat nobody can beat them. However, what you were doing in the first half was working against Miami. You should have just stuck with it. But because I'm going to be honest with you, and I know you're going to get into this a little bit, I don't think they had the legs under them that they should have had because of that 7-game series. So going to the basket was actually helping them rather than doing, shooting threes and doing all of that stuff. But I'll let you get into that. I know you have an interesting take on that.
And there's a couple of reasons for that, in my opinion. Now, that the one of the things that irritates the crap out of me, though, Mark, as you know, is you listen to all the locals, you listen to all the locals, the Falcons, the Mavs, and there's no excuse. You can't. Fatigue, tired? Oh, no. Everybody's on the same playing field. No, they're not. I mean, the Heat didn't go 7. That was not, the Heat took care of business sooner, and they had a few days extra rest. And here you got the Celtics coming out of a series that Milwaukee series was probably one of the most physical series I've seen for like 20 years, honestly. And, they took a beating in that series. So not only that, so you come out, to me, it's telling. You can say fatigue when you see the way they did it. If they came out in the first half and they were flat, everything wasn't dropping, they weren't driving, fine. But the fact that they came out like gangbusters in the first half, then in the third quarter, it just died. I mean, it just right down. That tells me that they're tired. Not only that, you got two of your starters that are out. You got Smart out, Horford out, and now you're playing extra minutes. Tatum, Brown, everybody. You got Nesmith in that game. So the fatigue had to matter. You could see it. And that's, to Mark's point, the jump shot's not going to be as good if you can't elevate because of the legs. And the more you drive the more you drive the basket, the more tired you get. So I think it was definitely a factor. But that brings you to the two guys they were missing, playing all those other minutes. Because once again, nobody thought, losing Smart and Horford, that's no big deal. How can a defensive player of the year not be a big deal if you don't have him, Mark?
Well, of course it is. Butler had 41 points. You're honestly going to tell me that Smart wouldn't have made a difference with Butler, at least at some point during that game? He's the defensive player of the year. Yeah, come on. So the guy goes out and scores 41 points because he's got guys on that can't handle him. I mean, you had to put Pritchard on him. That was a joke. In the second half of that game, he couldn't handle him. No. But it's because Smart was not on the court. And Horford, listen, rebounding wise, they got hurt again on the boards in that first game. Horford, even if he's not scoring, what people fail to realize is he's getting you 7, 8, 9, 10 rebounds a game, even when he's not scoring. In those playoff games, he's playing defense, but he's grabbing rebounds, something they desperately need under there, especially if Robert Williams, we know he's not 100%, right? He's playing, right. He's not 100%. So you need Horford in that game because Horford's going to get you rebounds, all right? Yeah. And listen, I don't give a care what those idiots on that flagship, Felger and Mads and all those idiots say. Well, no excuses, doesn't make a difference. You didn't have Horford, you didn't have Smart. I'm beginning to wonder what those guys actually know about sports in general. Honestly, like no joke, I'm starting to wonder what those people actually know about basketball, about football, about hockey. I think Felger knows a bit about hockey, and I think Maz, obviously knows about baseball if the Red Sox hired him to be in a booth. But other than that, they have no clue. Even though Murray's done the post game for the Patriots, that's a joke because that shows like watching a cartoon show. Yeah. That's like watching, the Flintstones, for Christ's sakes.
How anybody could watch that show over the Pats Nation?
Oh my God! With
us on there, I can't. God. You know what? That's to me, that's criminal. Well,
but Mark, listening to those guys is a joke. They don't know what they're talking about.
And another example of that, so Marcus Smart comes out after game one and he says, I'm the heart and soul of this team. As I go, the team goes. Okay. So, and it's clearly meant in the reference. I mean, I don't think he's coming out saying I'm a better player than Tatum. No, Tatum had what, like 46 last night, 2 nights ago? Yeah. No, I don't think he's saying I'm a better player than Tatum. I think what he's saying is, as I bring the juice, I get this team going.
Well,
they completely discount that. I agree with the guy. And what's funny to me, what pisses me off when I listen to these clowns, Mark, they've never been in a locker room. They've never been part of a team. This is why. When you have guys like
maybe they have. I don't know. Maybe they have. I don't know. We don't know that. No, not at that level.
But here's the thing. I agree with Smart. And here's the evidence to show it. Game 1 to game 2. I mean, your defensive player, it's like this, okay? It's like this. You got a football team. You got Aaron Donald, who's the defensive player of the year, or J.J. Watt, okay? And Watson is the quarterback. Let's go to that. Okay, so Watson's the best player on the team. I mean, he's thrown for 400 yards, but defensive player of the year is out. Good luck being able to do this without that guy. That's the point. So he's not your best player, but he brings that juice on defense. He gets everybody going, and clearly in game 2, that's what he did. That's what he did. And the defense sparks offense. You know how that goes. So I don't understand this whole thing. Well, you don't miss Marcus Smart. The day you don't miss the defensive player of the year as a guard, when every time the centers get it, Okay. That tells me I need to shut your show off now. I can't listen to you anymore. So they missed him, right?
Yeah, of course they did. Of course they missed him. But listen, this goes back to what we've talked about the first half of the year when they weren't playing well. We talked about it the last 2 years. Smart gives them some of that A personality, where that alpha male personality, where we've said, listen, as great as Tatum is, and as great as Brown looks from time to time, but as good as Tatum plays, Tatum is not that alpha male on the court.
No.
That's why we talked about, maybe you need to bring in somebody else to be that alpha male with those two guys.
You mentioned Beal a lot of times.
Beal, yeah. Well, Marcus Smart has been that alpha male since January for them. So they've needed that type of a player. So for those guys to say, what they're saying is ridiculous, totally ridiculous, totally, despite the fact he's a defensive player of the year, he brings that alpha male mentality that they desperately need, because the other two guys, as good as they are, that's not in their DNA. We've seen this now for 3 years. That's not their DNA to do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, he's the guy slapping the floor on the defensive end. He's the guy. Let's go. I heard him I saw him 2 nights ago in game 2. He's yelling at Grant Williams. I mean, Grant Williams getting a little too big for his britches there, talking.
Yeah, he was talking.
But that's how he's been all year, from my understanding. He talks a lot. That's the guy. But you saw Smart get in his face and be like, oh, know your place. And that's like you said, that's the kind of guy. And like you said with Horford, having him on the court, anytime you can get Tice off the court, that's a good thing, right? Because Tice has looked awful in these playoffs. I mean, he really has. So anytime Horford's on that court, combined with Williams, Robert Williams, you know how much I've loved that player, and even with his legs not being, he's still dominant under there. He's
dominant, but he's a piece of glass. Every time he falls, he's holding himself. He's like a piece of china. He's one fall from like everything smashing and breaking. I mean, he's dominant, but Jesus Christ, you're gonna hold your breath every time he goes up for a rebound.
Yeah, and isn't that kind of the way it is today?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Right?
You were talking about that during game 1 with me. He's screaming and yelling, "Why is Smart out there? What's the matter with Smart? Get him, tape it up and get your ass on the court." You know what I mean? But again, so they're back together again now. So game 2 happens, okay, and now you got all starters on, everybody, all hands on deck, and it showed, didn't it?
Oh, it absolutely showed positively. Defensively, it showed. You had Williams protecting the rim underneath. You had Horford in there doing his thing, getting rebounds, running out and protecting. And you had Smart doing his thing. But Smart on the court allows you to do some other things defensively, doesn't he? Right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He allows you to do other things defensively, doesn't he?
And then you get out in transition, too. With good defense, you transition to good offense. I mean, that's the way it is. And then those open threes happen. The Tatum and Brown can get to the rim. And Mark, they're getting to the rim better in this series. I mean, we knew that would happen. After the Milwaukee series, you knew. In that series, they couldn't get there. You had bigs. You had Lopez. You had guys under there. Even Posey was what's his name? Not Posey. The guy that was driving us nuts.
Yeah. What the heck was
Portis? Those guys were making it miserable. Now they can get there and kick. Pritchard, man. Pritchard's been shooting. He's been that guy. We talked about it in the offseason or during the season. Are they going to have the bench? Well, they're getting guys to contribute. So, and the Miami arena is a joke. I mean, you can't even, you don't hear anything there. I'm not too worried about that. I don't think the Heat are ready for what's going to happen in a little while.
No, they're not. That arena is, it's kind of a joke, that arena. And the only person they have under there is Bam Adebayo. And other than Bam, I mean, there's really nothing under the rim to protect the rim. And he's really not a rim protector. No. He uses his body more on the offensive end than he does on the defensive end, right? So he's more of a force under the backboard, under the boards, on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, he's not protecting the rim. So to your point, they really don't have a rim protector on the defensive side. And so when you move the ball the way we moved the ball in game 2, we went back to ball movement, passing, driving and kicking. And those are the types of things, when we're doing that well and we're shooting, there's nobody in the league going to beat us. There's nobody in the league that's going to be able to run with us and play with us the way we play defense, the way we drive and kick and shoot. Miami's not going to be able to hang with us if we're able to continue to do that. The series, in my opinion, will be over in 5 or 6 games, at most 6. I'm thinking 5. I just don't know if Miami will win another game. Maybe they win game 5 at home and you go home to Boston. You go to Boston and lose game 6. I don't know, but I think they're going to get blown out in both these games at Boston based on what we saw in game 2. Based on what we saw in game 2, do you think there's any way Miami can adjust tonight to what we're doing out there because of their lack of bigs?
No, I don't. And to your point too, with Bam there, he's getting pulled out from the center by Horford playing around that perimeter. So, that's a problem. No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it should be. I think the Celtics are clearly the better team. I mean, without even a question, I think they're the best. I think the superstars are. I think if you go down the list, like I like to do, yeah, okay, Jimmy Butler, Tatum, Butler, then Brown, then Williams. I mean, there it is, and you could even probably put Smart next on that list.
Yeah, they don't have the depth that we have in regards to real quality players, right?
And so it should be if the Celtics get out on them early in Boston, the Heat aren't going to be able to come. The crowd, the place, the atmosphere, they're just not going to be able to withstand that. So maybe they win another game in Miami, perhaps, but that crowd's a joke down there. So it doesn't. I don't think that's affecting the Celtics at all. But Mark, real quick, because we got to get the Bruins. The coaching match. Do you see? Everybody talked about this coaching matchup: Udoka, Spoelstra. Because he's a great coach down in Miami. Do you see any? Because people are talking about their defenses that Miami plays: the 1-3-1, some zone. And they switch it all up. What do you think?
They do. He does, and I give him credit for that. But listen, this league, if you haven't noticed it already, this league's about talent, right? You got some coaches that aren't very good, and their teams win. Because this league's about talent, where other sports, perhaps football, for one, right? Coaching matters, I think, right? There's certain sports but in this league, it's about talent. And if you got talent, you don't have to be the greatest X's and O's coach in this league to win and to win at a high level, right? And so
the Lakers 2 years ago.
Yeah, a lot of Lakers 2 years ago, they had no coach. He was no coach, right? So in this league, it's different, I think. So no, Spoelstra's a good coach. Don't get me wrong; he's a good X's and O's guy. But in this league, do you really need that to win at a high level? I don't think you do. Do you?
I don't. I mean, some adjustments like they've been making, but no, it's all on the players. So Lowry coming back tonight. Perhaps does that
he'll help a little bit. He might help them a little bit, but no, I think he's 5 years from what he having any significance in a game. He's old. He's more of a role player now. I'll be shocked if he does anything significant that affects this game tonight. I think he's a role player at this point of his career.
So, give me the prediction for the rest of the series.
I'm going to stick with. You know what? Screw it. They're not even going to win in Miami. I'm going to go Celtics in 5.
Yeah, see, I'm calling Celtics in 6. I'm thinking that I think they're going to blow them out of the water in Boston. I think they're going to get down to Miami, and I think they're going to have a little letdown.
But I did call Celtics in 7 against Milwaukee before it started, just for the record. I told him Celtics in 7. Joe, go check the tape. You always watch the tape.
I'm going to check tape.
So what?
You always watch the check.
The Celtics are probably winning 5 or 6. No, but if it goes 7, that was Brooklyn.
No, that was Brooklyn. That series, Milwaukee. I said 7 from the beginning.
There's so many numbers you throw around. I don't even know what to believe anymore. You keep changing your tune every week.
Listen, analytics. That's the name of the game now. Analytics.
Next week you'll be saying, "I told you they would be 7 in Miami." With the, you know what?
Nope, I'm calling 5. All right, but I will say this: that Milwaukee series, boy, that. If Middleton played, listen, I'm glad he didn't play because that would have been even more of a war if he played. Even more of a war. That was almost back to the old days in the 80s night basketball. My God.
Oh, it was a great series to watch in that regard. It was. It was personally, that to me was the NBA final, in my opinion. Yeah. Because I thought either one of those two teams, I don't think there's anybody left. I understand. We'll talk about Golden State another time because you and I are going to fight about that again. But but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So Mark and I both have them winning this series. Want to know what you think and heated hotline. So make sure you give us a call. Let us know what you think the Celtics is doing. Mark, the Bruins are finished. Okay. I think they were finished before they began. No, we talked about that. They weren't going to have enough juice to do anything. Especially now, I'm surprised it went 7. Yes. I give them props for it going 7 because I didn't think there was any chance. I thought they were going to get swept or 5, that kind of thing. So I give them credit there. But now moving forward, I mean, what are the major issues that need to be fixed to you?
Okay. GM needs to go.
Yeah.
Right? GM needs to go.
Well, you heard Cam Neely, right? Cam Neely came out yesterday and basically said they're working on a new contract for Sweeney. So I don't see that happening. But
how is that even possible? That you're going to bring that buffoon back?
So many bad moves. And listen, I'll give Mock this all season long, even in the offseason. The drafts have been horrible. Sweeney's drafts have been just atrocious. And you see these players popping up on these other teams that are picking in good spots, like the Islanders and so on. They're getting a lot of talent, a lot of good youth. And Mark, does it make sense to you that where are all the good hockey players? What parts of the country?
Florida.
Yeah, right. Arizona.
Over
here, LA. No, I mean, it's New England. It's in the Northeast. It's in Minnesota. It's in these parts of the country where the GM, they're in your backyard. You can't scout these guys in these colleges, Boston University, New Hampshire, so on, right?
Yeah, it's a joke. I don't know. Listen, it's so bad. His drafts and his scouts, I don't know what they're doing, but the whole that whole group of people need to be replaced.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're actually thinking about giving him a contract, listen, but I am going to say this though. I think Sweeney is getting all this blame, but I'm not going to let Cassidy off the hook. All right. Yeah. I'm not going to let Cassidy off the hook because I don't think Cassidy's that good of a coach. Okay. Cassidy got the benefit of bouncing off of, Claude Julian. Yeah. Okay. And Claude, listen, they want to, for what you want to say about Claude won a Stanley Cup.
They want a ring.
Claude won a cup. Cassidy hasn't won a cup. However, Claude got old and stale. His style of hockey got old and stale towards the end. Okay, fine. Cassidy comes in, does some things differently, plays a different brand of hockey a little, right? But
a little more speed, not as much bogged down in the middle of the ice.
Exactly. However, if you've been watching this team over the last 2-3 years, he's unwilling to or incapable of making an adjustment in game on the fly. He will not make the adjustment. Okay, in between game 3 and 4, he'll make the adjustment, right? But in game 3, if you're getting your behind kicked, he doesn't make the adjustment. As an observer, you're watching the game and you know what needs to be adjusted. Make the adjustment. He don't do it. It's amazing to me how he's allowed and not criticized for that, Chris. It's amazing to me. Amazing.
Yeah. And so does Bergeron come back? Let's just.
I think he's seriously. Listen, I think he is seriously contemplating retirement. He really
sounded like it.
I don't think he'll play anywhere else. But
hugging those guys coming off the ice, the way he was talking in his post game, it sounds to me like he's done.
What happens if he goes?
I mean, at that point you need to, because I think Cassidy's going to be the casualty here. I do. I like him. I just don't think he's good enough anymore. And if they're not going to 86 Sweeney, I think Cassidy goes. Mark, you know what's funny?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
No. What's your question?
Let me ask you a question. Where was the perfection line in Game 7?
Well, that's the point. That's the whole point.
You screamed about that for 4 games.
That's the whole point about Cassidy is that you put them together and you won a game. You won a game with them, and then you broke them apart. Now I talked about the matchups, and if you're home, you get to have the second change so you can match up better. But come on, that perfection line. You're in Carolina. You're going against Carolina. You're gonna get your ass kicked down there. Put them together. What the hell's the difference? You're gonna, So
it's Game 7. Take a chance. It's Game 7.
Yeah, it's irritating.
Do something to shake it up. I mean, come on.
Did you find it funny? People say, well, why isn't there a decision made about Sweeney yet? Do you realize that Jeremy Jacobs is the owner of that team?
Yep.
He turned control of that team, of the Bruins, over to his kids. 6 kids. 6.
What?
Charlie Jacobs and all the siblings. Yeah,
He's got
six kids have control of the Bruins. That's who's going to make this. They got to go through all those people before they can make decisions.
Okay, so you've took control of the franchise over the 6 kids?
Yeah, and like I say, or like you say, the kids of the owners that built it suck. Historically stink. Maybe the Hunt family is an exception. Maybe the Rooney family.
Maybe those families are an exception. Yes.
Everybody else, and we're seeing it with the Kraft. So
we're seeing with the Kraft. So let me ask you something though.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they even have the whereabouts or the resources to do it. But at some point, the Bruins are going to have to address the lack of physicality. I mean, when are you going to address that?
Yeah, it's a huge issue on the defensive end. You need that guy. You need that, you need that enforcer, that guy, that goof that comes out on the ice and just starts smacking people around and he'll drop the gloves. They don't have it. They shy away from it. And we've talked about that all year. So there's a lot of things to change with the Bruins.
In that game 7, there was in other words, whenever things got a little bit heated, the guy for the Bruins would grab somebody and they'd want to dance with him. They danced. What the hell are you doing out there? What are you, Fred Astaire? I'm going to show my age. What are you, Fred Astaire? You're going to dance. Jesus, what are you kidding me?
There goes the New Year's resolution again, Joe. There it goes.
Throw a right hook to the side of his head and shake him up.
We want to know what you think in Heated Hotline with the Bruins, too. A lot of things to hear from you about is Mock's. We want to talk about Mock's right hook and what the Bruins need in the offseason, who should go. So Weekly Rewind was presented by Special Sauce Podcast. What's your special sauce? SpecialSaucePodcast.com. When we come back, buckle up. Catone's Comments is next.
It's the Special Sauce Podcast. You liking the song? The sauce is good, man.
So start out this finance train them, trust them, and let them lead.
With your host, Marcus Aurelius. Tune in to Special Sauce Podcast, wherever you podcast. What's your special sauce? Time for Catone's Comments!
You know that I have talked numerous times about my driving manual, right? My driving. What it should be. Listen. I'm not going to talk about cars. Everybody knows I got a driving manual. I got my rules of the road. Everybody knows it. Now, why is it bicycles? Bicycles have the bike lanes, right? I don't know if they got those out in Arizona where Chris is, but I know, over here.
They have laws for bicycles.
For bicycles, right? Yes.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Laws.
They have traffic laws for bicycles. And they do have traffic laws here for bicycles. Okay, great. They should, because, you want to make sure that they're protected and they're driving their bicycles. And that's great. Where are the laws for motorcycles? It's insanity. Listen, I got nothing wrong with people driving motorcycles. You want to drive a motorcycle? That's great. That's your preference. I know people who have Harley Davidsons. That's great. Listen, that's your mode of transportation. Hey, all power to you. That's great. But Jesus Christ, where are the rules and the laws around motorcycles? I had some idiot in front of me. I'm on the highway. He's in front of me. I'm driving 65. He's driving his motorcycle. He's doing a wheelie. He's got the thing up in the air. He's doing a wheelie in front of me doing 60, 65. Great. So when he flips that and busts his head and I run over him and squash him like an ant, well, they're going to come after me. Oh, you killed him. You ran over him. He's driving like a jerk in front of me doing a wheelie at 65 miles an hour.
Run.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Cannonball run. Listen to him. Are you kidding me? Then they're behind you. They're revving. Where the hell are you going? You're on the bike. You're going to go through my car. Are you kidding me? They rev it at the red lights. They're revving what the hell is wrong with you? Move the hell away from me with that goddamn motorcycle. They should have like a bike lane, laws for bicycles. There should be a specific lane for motorcycles. You got a motorcycle. This is where you're driving the motorcycle on the highway. They should not be. Then they're doing 75, 80. They're weaving in and out of traffic. It's unbelievable. They cut in front of you in an instant. They just fly across 3 lanes. If you're not paying attention, you're going to kill them or you're going to kill yourself. I mean, are you kidding? They don't got helmets, half of them. They don't got helmets. But the police officer wants to pull me over because I don't have my seatbelt on. They don't even got helmets on. They're driving like maniacs. No helmets. Nobody cares. They don't have helmets on. Yesterday drove me crazy when this guy does the wheelie doing 65 in front of me. I said to myself, I need to add that chapter to my driving manual. Motorcycles. They need to have their own lane. There needs to be something special for motorcycles. Listen, there has to be.
The manual is just it's got to be about this right now.
I got to add a chapter.
So it's got to be about 2-3 inches thick at this point. The Catone driving school. But I do have
each chapter is at least 1.5 inches thick.
I do have an image. I do have an image for all of you out there. If you're out and about and you see Mark and Joe riding by on one of those 2-person bicycles, okay, give them a wave, give them a wave, throw something at them, do that kind of thing. Or Mark and his neighbor that he likes so much, riding around, together. Yeah, Mark.
But we won't wave. They need to know we won't wave back because there is the potential we'll both fall off the bike.
Yeah, yes. Well, Mark will be screaming and yelling at him anyway, all the way down the street. But Mark,
let me ask you a question: how are the motorcycles out there?
Well, I'll tell you this. But which one annoys you more? Is it the Harley? Is it that kind of bike, or is it those rocket ships?
It's the rocket ships that bother me because they drive like animals. It's they're doing the wheelies. It's the that kind of stuff. It's the rocket ships. It's not the Harleys. The guys that drive the Harleys are nice and mellow.
Well, they can't do a wheelie on those.
No, they can't. But those guys are mellow. They're driving. They're doing their thing, right?
But the noise.
It's the rocket ships
is a lot too.
It's a lot. Yeah. There's no ordinance. There's no used to be. I thought there was a sound ordinance.
So here, okay, Corso Law, criminal traffic law firm.
Here we go.
You want to get the plug right in there, huh? No. So they have a lane, the carpool lane, the HOV lane here.
Yep.
You can, as a motorcycle, you can ride in that lane. So you could always be in that lane. So that's something. Now, I have a client. I have a case right now. I have to tell this. I know we're late. So comes to me on a motorcycle, got stopped for a criminal. Here in Arizona, if you're driving above 85 miles per hour, it's criminal. It's a criminal speed.
Even in a car?
It's a misdemeanor. Car, bike, whatever you're in. Golf cart, Mark souped up golf cart, whatever he's got over there. And then if you're driving 20 plus miles over the limit, also criminal, right? So I got a guy comes to me and he says, I'm on my motorcycle, get the criminal, blah, blah, blah. 124. I look at the ticket and I said, he goes, there's no way I was going as fast as they tell me. Well, how fast were you going before? I don't know. I think he said over 100. I get the citation to look at it, to review it. 124 miles an hour. Okay. This is like NASCAR over there, right? 124 miles an hour in and out of traffic. He said, no way. Didn't happen. There's no chance that happened. The radar's broken. I said, the radar? I said, are you kidding me? I said, you don't even have to go to cop school to see you're over 100 miles an hour flying down the road. So then I get the dash cam from the cop, okay? And I watched it with him, and I just sat there like this, and we watched it together, me and my client. And he's going, boom, 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 in and out of lanes, in and out of lanes. I thought he was going to use one of the cars as a ramp, okay, to jump something like Devlin. You know what I mean? so yeah, Mark, I'm with you. It's a scary thing out there to watch when you're on. And out here, there's like 5 lane. The highways are huge.
I have to ask you, did they lane split in Arizona? Because I know they allowed that in California, where they could drive because there's so much traffic. They could drive in between the cars in a lane, and
What the hell are you talking about? Mark, what is he talking about?
He's out there in La La Land, Hollywood. That's like it's La La Land.
Lane split.
It's lane splitting. Yeah, you could drive on a motorcycle in between the lanes.
I know what you mean, like on the line. I don't know. I see him doing it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm ready for somebody to open a door and it get taken off like Cannonball Run. So Mark's right, everybody. Want to hear from you. Make sure you call in and let us know your motorcycle and bicycle story. And also let me know if you see Joe and Mark riding by on that 2-person bike. So
I want a basket on the front of the bike, Joe.
So you could put your dolls
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, I want a basket.
Stuffed animals and stuff inside there, So all your Patriots little,
Yeah.
So all your knickknacks and troll figures. So Catone's
I'm
comments
gonna
was...
put a bottle of bourbon in
Let
there.
me tell everybody who
Yes.
was presented by. My God. Oh, that's even better.
You
By the way,
told us already. It's Corso.
can get it-
Obviously, Corso and Catone. You already pumped yourself.
you
Corso Law Group.
You could get a DUI and a bicycle too, just so
No,
you know.
no, you
yeah.
cannot.
Yes, you can. It's
How are you
presented
gonna
by
get a
Corso. It's presented by Corso Law Group, Arizona's
that.
leading criminal and traffic law firm. DUI also. Allow us to be your voice. Hey, listen.
Joe, DUI on a bicycle. I never heard of such a
DUI
thing.
also.
You can get a DUI sitting in your driveway.
All right.
You just have to be in the car with it on.
All right.
Get
I can't go out there.
No, especially if you're going to have bourbon in the little basket. You can't do
in
that.
the basket.
That's not going to happen.
You only get it if you get caught.
Right. Yeah. People don't learn how to drive drunk. That's why. That's why people can't drive. Listen, we don't condone.
We don't condone that.
The
No.
views of Mark Catone do not represent the views of
No,
and Catone. Copyright 2000.
Listen, I don't condone driving seriously drunk. That's. I know too many people who have lost lives for that. I'm going to be serious for a moment, but I just figured a bicycle. If you put a bottle of bourbon in a bicycle, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, we're talking in jest because you know what? What are you morons by now out there? You don't realize it by now. You can't get in the car and drive with alcohol in your system. You stupid freaking fools. Wake up. Wake up. So when we come back, hey, listen, we're going to get real. Real Deal is next.
It's that time again for a timeout for a message from one of our sponsors. No one ever thinks they will be in the need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. Corso Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Their 20-plus years experience and attention to detail has helped thousands of people all across this great country who found themselves in a situation in Arizona. So whether it's a traffic ticket or if you need reduced DUI or more serious issues, call or go online to CorsoLawGroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys who I know will help you. Corso Law Group.
Back in with more Corso and Catone, the Real Deal New England feel. And so the question is, Mark, Joe, and all of you out there, what will the Pats' record be? Is the schedule too difficult to have any success? That's the real question, and we're going to get to it right now in Real Deal.
What are you writing now? What are you writing now?
So I'm working over here. You're talking about nonsense. I'm working.
That's why we are the Real Deal New England Feel. It's going to be real.
Joe, I thought we were going to get through a show. I said, you know what? We're on our way.
Yeah.
We're on our way.
Yeah.
Don't tell me Mercury's still in retrograde. You can't use that every week.
It goes for 3 weeks, 3 times a year. People, get used to it. Things happen.
Yeah.
Your electronics, everything gets screwed up. Communication, but it also is a time to reflect. So here we are. Let's reflect about the Real Deal.
Yeah, we're going to reflect right now. So, Mark, the schedule came out last week. We've all had some time to digest it. Okay, and think about it and figure out how screwed we actually are. Okay, Mark had some. Before we get to the schedule, Mark, tell everybody what you told me before we came on the show.
So it's being reported by Greg Bedard, breaking news, right? But no, he has his ear to what's going on in that locker room, I think, and he has some sources within that organization that typically when he says something,
he's a good source.
He's a good source. It's pretty accurate, right? And he's reporting that there is already some disgruntled players on the offensive side of the ball who are upset with the coaching staff. And I'm going to probably figure it specifically Joe Judge, because what the hell does he know? He's going to work with Mac Jones. Jones knows more than he knows about the offense. He's going to teach Jones the offense. I'm sorry, Jones is going to teach Judge the offense. Are you kidding me? So they're already not happy on the offensive side of the ball with the coaching staff. That's a problem, considering they've only had, an OTA, and they're already upset with the offensive side of the ball, the players?
Well, you heard it here first several months ago, and we talked about the fact that Mac Jones and the tight end coach, or whoever that is over there, is going to have to teach Joe Judge the offense. It was only a matter of time before the guys got pissed off. Can you imagine what training camp's going to be like?
It's going to be an absolute shit show. Listen, a shit show with these guys. You got the other bozo the clown. Patricia's out there. It's just a joke. A joke.
Yeah. You'll see Patricia and Judge come riding in on a 2-person bicycle over there for the training camp. So speaking of training camp, that all opens up the middle of July. And so the schedule's out starting Sunday, September 7th. Mark, let's go through some of these games.
Let's go through.
So here's the thing. Let's take our division just for a minute as a whole. Okay. And then we could talk about the other games. So we start off the season at Miami. Now, just generally speaking, how are they going to do against Miami on the road at home? I mean, you see them as wins, loss. I mean, because they get them week one and then you get them the second to the last week.
So I'm going to say that week one, they're going to lose the
at
game.
Miami.
They're losing because I think they're not going to be ready for what Miami's going to throw at them. They have no film of what they're going to be doing with Tyreek Hill and those guys. I would feel better if you were at Miami week 3, 4, 5. Week one, right out of the gate, loss. Yeah,
I agree. You got Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Gesicki. It's going to be a problem.
You also got the other kid. You got the other kid, Wilson from Dallas, that runs across the field.
Yep. And, we'll see how the new quarterback
does. They brought in all those running backs. They brought in like 3 guys to run an offense similar to San Francisco's.
No, and that's a house of horrors at Miami. Always. They never win there. So we both have that as a loss. So they're 0-1. Okay, 0-1. So now they go to Pittsburgh in week 2, September 18th. I have that as a win because I don't know what
I only gave them a win in that game because I don't know what Pittsburgh has at quarterback because Pittsburgh is going to be loaded at wide receiver. They're going to be loaded at wide receiver.
They got Mitch Trubisky, and
Well, you don't think the rookie could win that job in training camp?
I think so because I think Trubisky stinks.
Yeah.
So I have them getting their first win and going 1-1 at that point. Then they come home. Now they come home. They start off 2 on the road. Now they come home September 25th to Baltimore. Baltimore was a weird team last year. They had a lot of injuries.
Loss.
See, I think there's going to be a quarterback problem but not that early in the season. I think there's going to be a quarterback controversy in Baltimore with that Huntley because he played well down the stretch, but I don't think it's going to be that early. I have it as a loss too. So now they're 1-2. They go to Green Bay. Do we even need to?
No, loss.
That's a loss too. Although I will say, how's Green Bay going to handle the loss of Devontae Adams?
I don't think Green Bay is going to be as good as they've been, but I still think they got enough to beat us at home.
So now we're what? Yeah.
1-3?
1-3. Yeah, sorry. 1-3. Now they come home. They're home for Detroit.
Win.
They should beat that team. So they're okay. So now they're 2-3. At Cleveland. This is one, and they haven't had a night game yet today, but we're going to get to that in a second, those games. But now they're at Cleveland. What do you make of this? I have a question mark next to this one.
Well, this is my question. How long is Deshaun Watson going to be suspended for? So is Watson going to be suspended? He's going to be suspended. They've pretty much indicated almost that the NFL was in negotiations with him in regards to how many games will we suspend you for?
Negotiations? Right? Brady was suspended for 4 games just for letting air out of the balls. This guy. Go ahead.
That's it. So, depending on when Watson comes back, I'm going to put it down as a win. However,
do they have enough skill though, Mark? Over there?
Where? At Cleveland? I think Cleveland's got a good defense, and I think with Watson, they probably win a defensive game, like 17-14, 20-17 type of game with Watson. But I'm going to give us the win in that game just because I don't necessarily know if he'll even be playing. So I'll give us a win there.
Yeah, I have it as a loss.
You gave it as a loss. Okay.
I have it as a loss because I don't think our defensive front is going to be good enough to get pressure. I really don't. I think Cleveland's offensive line has improved. And I think their defense is just too. I think their pass rush, Garrett and company. I think their pass rush is just far too strong.
No, I agree
and I
with
don't
that.
know what the hell our offensive line is going to look like. I have no clue what those rookies are going to be like, and what we Ferenz and Owinu, and if those two tackles can stay healthy. I have no idea.
So what do you have them at right now?
So right now that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 and 4. I got them at 2 and 4. You got them at what? 3 and 3.
Yeah, because I gave them a win in that game. I got them at 3 and 3.
Math, Mark. Put
I don't have a sheet. Listen, I don't have a sheet in front of me.
You should have a sheet for all times, all things. Anyway, okay. So now again, but keep in mind, like we just there's so many question marks for New England at the linebacking core, at the offensive line. They could be fantastic. These linebackers could come out of the gate for New England and be just lights out, right? Who the hell knows?
We don't know.
But wishful thinking on that. So come home for Chicago. I have it as a win. Yeah, I have it as a win. I just don't think Chicago has enough. I don't think Fields is going to take the big step that people think he's going to take over there at quarterback.
I don't think he has the weapons around him to take that step.
And I don't think defensively, I mean, they're pretty good, but I just don't think they're good enough defensively.
No, I don't.
For what New England's especially in the running game. I think Chicago's run defense isn't as good. So I think that our running game will, will win the day on that one.
That's a win.
At the Jets.
Loss.
I have it a win because I think Wilson's Wilson. I don't think their quarterback's good enough. I don't. You never liked Wilson out of the draft.
I don't like Wilson. I just think the Jets are going to find a crazy way to win that game. A fumble, turn. I just think it's going to be one of those weird games where you lose to the Jets.
Saleh over there had that team very competitive last year. They took Tampa to the wire.
He did.
The game they probably should have won. So I get all that, and they had a fantastic draft. Oh, they had a great draft. They had a lot, but are those guys going to translate year one?
We don't know, but I'm going to say they're going to win a crazy game over there. The Jets are going to win.
So I have that as a win. He has it as a loss so far. So now now they come home to the Colts.
Loss.
I have it as a win.
Loss.
I have them winning that game. Tell me why you think they lose that game.
Because that's my sleeper team with Matt Ryan, Matty Ice. That's my sleeper team. Matt Ryan's going to make a huge difference with that defense and the weapons they got on offense and the running game. They're going to have a real good season, and nobody's talking about Indy. That's my sleeper. Mark it down now, Joe. May 21st. My sleeper team, Matty Ice, Indy. They're going to come in here and beat us.
Indianapolis relied a lot last year on Taylor in that running game, right?
They're not going to have to with Matty Ice.
I understand what you're saying. I understand. Okay. But I think Ryan had more talent in Atlanta. Okay, at the wide receiver position, tight end position, of course, the tight end position in Pitts.
Oh, the tight end position, yeah.
And he couldn't do it. He couldn't do anything with it. And so nothing tells me that he's going to do anything with it in Indianapolis. And I feel like Taylor's going to have a drop-off here. These are the running back. Every time you see a running back win the title and the rushing title or whatever he did, it always comes back the next year and they kind of disappear a little bit. So I have a sneaking that win. I think the Patriots, it's one home game. They're going to look fantastic, and I think it's going to be that game. Okay? So now they go into the bye. So here we have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. And the bye breaks pretty good for them, Mark, right?
It does. That's a good spot for them.
Okay, so let's move on. Okay, Jets next week at home. The Jets, we're running out of time. Win. I got a 2 at minute. Okay, now we start our nighttime stretch. Okay, they play now 1, 2, 3, 4 night games in a row, which I hate. I hate night games. Why? Because we can't be on right after.
We're not going to be on right after, so we're going to have to get a little creative.
And that's why I hate it. We'll talk about that another time. So at Minnesota on Thanksgiving night, are you going to be awake for that, or are you going to stuff your face with turkey so much that you can't even wake up?
I don't eat that. I'm not like you. I'm going to go loss.
I have it as a win. I know why you have it as a loss, too. You have it as a loss because ordinarily everybody's going to be fired up over there because it's Thanksgiving, right?
It's Thanksgiving. There'll be a primetime game. The joint will be crazy. It'll be a sellout. If you played that game at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it'd be a hell of a lot easier.
It's a game they should win, and I think they should win, and I think they will win. Now here come the losses. You got home against Buffalo at night, at Arizona at night, and they stay on the road at Vegas at night. Give me those 4 games.
I thought, listen, you're talking about me. It's only 3, not 4.
Oh, sorry. No, 4. But pay attention. Buffalo, Cardinals, Raiders, or the Bengals. Sorry, that's all.
You didn't say Bengals.
All right. Okay. Just do Buffalo, Arizona, and Vegas. What do you got?
Buffalo loss.
Yeah. I have it too. Loss.
Arizona win. Raiders win.
I got loss.
Nope.
I
2
got
wins.
all losses on the roads. And by the way,
I got 2 wins.
that Arizona Vegas week, because they're playing Monday night at Arizona and then they play Sunday night at Vegas. They're going to stay on the road. So all of those are losses.
That's because you think that little guy in Arizona. I told you week 6 that 7. You said, oh, they're the best team in football. I told you he was a fraud.
He's probably going to get sacked.
I told you that team was a fraud, and you're arguing with me. Guess what? They were a fraud.
I think he's going to get sacked 16 times. Well, but back to Buffalo real quick. Okay, back to Buffalo really quick. Do we have a shot at all of beating that team next year?
No.
Next season?
No.
Nothing. Not even.
No.
Home, away, nothing.
Nope. They're going to get destroyed. Nope.
They're destroyed. They're going to get their.
They're going to get their ass kicked because you broke the seal. Buffalo, the seal has been broken. There's no more of that mystique aura. Buffalo doesn't respect us.
So
Buffalo was going to wipe the floor with us twice.
So, okay. Do you think the Patriots have gotten talent-wise? Do you think they've gotten better or worse since last year? Just generally, overall.
They might have gotten slightly better. We don't know. Well, here's the problem. Yeah. We don't know about the linebackers that haven't played. We've never seen them. We don't know.
Well, we know the linebackers were not good last year.
No, so that but you don't know. Could they be better? Yeah, they absolutely could be. But these guys could be worse.
So, Joe, while you're pulling tape, okay? What are you
pulling tape about? What?
Tell me who Mark would have rather played in the playoffs last year. Cincinnati.
That was last year. So
the Patriots could be slightly better.
No,
but now we're going to get our ass kicked by Buffalo.
You didn't say. That's not the question you asked me.
I said, are they better or worse?
I said they might be slightly better, but Buffalo's a lot better. You didn't ask that question, counselor.
Why? Well, because
spoken like an attorney, counselor.
Why? Because
you didn't ask that question.
Why are they much better? Why is Buffalo much? What did they add that they are that much better? The pass rusher?
They added the pass rusher. They added another wide receiver to that group. Ooh. And I think they added a wide receiver. And I also think that Allen is a year more experienced, a year older. He'll be even more poised this year. Buffalo is much better. They're going to be much better than they were last year. Buffalo's going to be one of those teams that's going to be like 15-2. They're going to roll teams, and you have no shot of beating that team. The fact that you're slightly better is meaningless because they're much better than they were last year. That's why I said that. I
don't think they're much better than they were last year, but I think they're better. I think they're as good, and therefore I have them going to the Super Bowl, Buffalo. But I think the Patriots will go 1-1 against them in this year. And here's why.
They're going to get slapped in the face.
Joe, he doesn't even listen.
I don't need to listen. They're going to get slapped in the face.
Well, here's why. They're going to lose at home. But when they go on the road the last week of the season, Buffalo's not going to need the game.
Oh, well, that ain't a win, then. You're playing back.
It's still a win. It's still a win.
That's bullshit. That
ain't
still
a win in the column.
Actually, listen, Buffalo is going to need the game because they're going to be fighting it out for home field.
Won't happen because the AFC West is going to beat the hell out of each other, right?
Oh, I know you got
fighting with.
Yeah, I know you got Juju Smith-Schuster and Sky Moore over there at Kansas City. Who's beating them? Yeah, you think Kansas City's going to wipe everybody's ass for them? No, but I think once Kansas City's offense gets rolling with those guys,
Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
what's going on in Vegas?
Wait until those receivers get rolling over there, Smith-Schuster and the rookie Sky Moore.
Oh. And what about the Chargers? They got something to bring to the table.
The Chargers coach should be coaching. He should be coaching Pop Warner somewhere. That guy.
He does suck.
Mark,
what do you think about? And by the way, this Buffalo game that they're playing at home on I don't know, December 1st, it says Prime Video. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, if you don't have Prime Video, you can't watch the game.
Are you out of your mind?
No, if you don't have Prime Video, then yeah, I do too. But if you don't have that, you can't watch the game. It's an exclusive.
That's not my normal thing though.
Well, that's how it's going to be.
How am I going to record the game? I have a video library of the Patriots, okay, from 1993. I have every single game. on DVD.
Yeah, but how do you tape them
from
now? There's no more
1993.
DVD.
I got a DVD recorder. It's from 1974, but
You
I
don't still use it.
Yeah, record. So I'm telling you, I record I have all the Super Bowl years. I have every single game. I don't know why, but I have them all. It became like one of those because you don't understand, Mark and I. We real deal New England feel. We're nuts, just like all the New England fans are crazy. And I
tell the fans what you were just watching as before we started the show behind you
on NFL Network. They were playing the game. Mark and I, the Tampa game. That last year, the Tampa at New England, and I'm over there watching the game, thinking it's going to be something. I'm yelling at the screen.
I get a different outcome.
Oh, you're not going for it on 4th and 3. What the hell's the matter with you? He's not going to hit this field goal. Oh man, like it's happening now. Yeah, you know.
Well, you made fun of me watching the 1978 World Series when.
That's because you were drooling on yourself at 2:00 in the morning. That's why.
What?
We're just like you out there. We're just like you. So
Mark, rest of the schedule. We're going to lose the Buck. We're going to lose.
What do you think about the fact that they have 4 night games in a row? Who the hell? I mean,
yeah. Well, that's partly self-inflicted because they asked for that. They asked to have to stay out west for Arizona and the Raiders. I think the NFL just gave them the back-to-back night games, but they asked to stay out west, right? He didn't want to go back and forth. So the Raiders, we talked about that before the schedule was released. We knew that Raider game with McDaniels would be prime time, right? We knew that.
Corso and Catone, Pats Nation may have something special planned.
We may.
Vegas game. So
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So Cincinnati lost.
So you got them losing to Vegas too. That Belichick McDaniel come together matchup.
No, I have them losing to Buffalo, beating Arizona.
Yeah.
And I have them actually beating the Raiders.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
so you got them winning those 2 games on the road in a row.
Yes.
You feel like the camaraderie living together is going to.
But then they're going to get the shit kicked out of them by Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so but that game's at home now.
I don't care. They're going to come home and get whitewashed. Everybody's going to be all happy. We won 2 on the road. Here we go. And
Malcolm Butler.
Joey B's going to eat him up.
Malcolm Butler's going to shut down Chase. He's going to shut him down, lock him down. He's going to lock. Yeah,
he's going to lock him down. He's not going to let him out of the hotel to get to the game.
He's going to lock him up, not lock him down. You know,
lock it up.
Yeah, I have that as a loss too. There's just Cincinnati just has too much. They just have too much. You know. So okay, now you come home for Miami.
Win.
Yeah, I agree. I have that as a win. Like every year, they're going to lose in Miami. They're going to win at home against Miami. And then at Buffalo, I have a Buffalo as a win only because I don't think Buffalo is going to need it.
All right, lost.
I really don't. So I have that as a win. So in the division, Mark and I have them going. I have them going 2 and what do they play? 4 games? How many games did they play? In the division. So I have them 1.
They play 6.
2. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3. Where the hell's the other one? I got them 3 and 3, I believe. Yeah, I got them 3 and 3.
I think I do too.
No, I thought you have more losses. I think you have 4 losses. I think you have 2 and 4. You got 2 Buffalo losses, right?
Yep.
You got a Miami loss.
Yep.
Oh, you have them win both the Jets there. Okay, so you're 3 and 3 too. All right. So that's in the division and the rest of the conference. So Mark, tally up yours.
My tally, I believe I had them at 8 and 9.
9. I have them at 9 and 8.
I had them 8 and 9.
Oh, I have 9 and 8 because of that last game.
And you know why I have them 8 and 9? You are right. As I looked at my thing over here, I did have them losing to the Jets, so I have them 8 and 9. I did have them losing at the Jets, so I'm 8 and 9.
You're already backpedaling, you know. You're 8 and 9.
I'm not backpedaling. I'm 8 and 9. How am I backpedaling?
Yeah, so am I. So okay, that's
Joe. On August 10th, that could change. So I don't want to hear him. I got to see them. We got to see them in training camp, and we got to see them play preseason games.
You make sure you date, timestamp, do everything like that at the 59th minute of this show on what the hell's the date today? May 21st. So we'll see what happened. That's our preseason, training camp picks as the schedule comes out. We will have those picks for you again as we get into training camp. And so the question remains for you to answer. What will be the Pats record? Is the schedule too difficult for the Patriots to have any success? Let us know in Heated Hotline, 855-313-PATS. You can also let us know how wrong Mark is. And so, where are we? Real Deal was presented by Jag Media. Guys, it's time flies when you're having fun. It's that time again. We got to get going. Gentlemen, thank you for another great week, and thank you for joining us in the nation. Hey, listen, get on all week long. Our shows are up for you to watch and listen. Make sure you subscribe, follow us, give us that thumbs up. We want to hear from you, and come back next week, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to see if the Celtics are in the finals at that point, hopefully. Talk some baseball, and anything you want to bring to the table, we'll be ready for it because we are the Real Deal, New England Feel. See you next Saturday.